Well, folks, welcome to another one of the CARB 2020 Hall of Fame inductee interviews. And we've got a couple here tonight. We've got Marla and Lowell, Cristy, and they are being inducted into the CARB this year. And folks, just let me first say congratulations on being inducted. I know you probably kind of feel a little bit like I do, probably still in a little state of shock and wonderment.
Yes, it was a shock.
Yeah. We were talking about it earlier, and you got that call from Karen Darling like I did, and I just sat there and I think my mouth dropped open.
Well, it was just, I mean, it's such an honor, you know, to get to be with so many special people that are already in, and it really was. I cried.
Well,
I cried.
I think I shed a tear or two myself because I just couldn't believe it. Lowell, how about you? I mean, your brother went in last year, so I kind of think maybe you might have been a little prepared.
Well, not really. Not really. I mean, it's an honor. I will say that.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I appreciate the people that voted me in.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel the same way. I don't know who they are, but thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I'm sure Windsor, Missouri is still talking about how this relationship kind of got took off with a really loud roar. You might say an engine roar, for example. Marla, you want to tell us just a little bit about how this relationship got started?
Well, we went to school together and sat next to each other, and I was trying to fix him up with a girlfriend of mine, and anyway, but we ended up together instead. And if I ever, you know, I loved racing, but I don't know, I just, he was always busy working on the race car, him and Larry. And so if I wanted to have a date, I had to go to their little shop and sit and watch, and that was our dates. And just kind of went from there.
I guess Lowell, probably at around 10 or 11, as Marla says, you started hanging out at was it a race shop or just a garage where guys worked on cars?
That these guys had rented. I had been up to school, and I'm walking home, and I see this flashing, which was a welder. And I had to go in there and see what they're doing. And that's how it started. I never quit going in there.
Would we know any of those people or those guys that were hanging out back then? I mean, aren't any of them in racing?
Well, let's see. The only one that's still living is Shorty Akers, which, you know, a lot of people knew Shorty. There was Donnie LaRue and Sonny Wilkerson. And they let us hang out, and, well, we just loved it. We'd go to Marshall every week. And
so you started kind of traveling with them and going to the races?
Yeah, I went anywhere they went, you know, and it was great. You know, it just, I loved it going to, you know, Thunderbolt, Jeff City, Marshall, Westline was a track that, you know, some people might know. We used to go there, it seemed like, on a Wednesday night. Yeah.
Boy, it sounds like fun. Of course, Marla, you probably didn't get invited on a lot of those, did you?
No, I didn't get to go.
We'll discuss some more about that here in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Lowell, somewhere in this time frame, though, you entered the Soapbox Derby, and you were telling me that it wasn't where they have had it for years out at Swope Park.
This was the one that's today at the fairgrounds.
I'll be darned.
And I think it's one and only. I don't think they ever had. Well, it turned out to be such a failure when you got 48 cars winning on this side and 2 or 3 on this side.
Well, and where did they find a hill big enough in Sedalia?
Well, it wasn't a real big hill, but it was one of the out back, that would be east. It was kind of parking lot and everything. There was a street that went down through there. And what they basically done, it was kind of rough on one side. They've done some patching.
Oh, my.
And to say the least, this lane was fast, this one wasn't.
So you didn't get past the first round?
No. No, but these cars was built, you had to build your own car.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we didn't, we had a little garage next to where I lived. And I think I had a coping saw and no tools,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh-huh.
And I built that thing.
Yeah.
I wished I had it today.
I was going to say.
I think the only thing I really, really might have fudged on, I had some friends that owned a sheet metal shop.
Uh-huh.
And they bent me up some body, and
Body
I
part.
had to put it on.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Now, was Larry involved in this too?
No, there was two of us boys. Another one, we was kind of picked by, I don't remember who, but, oh boy, Larry Williams was his name,
Mhm.
and myself.
I'll be darned.
And it was a pretty big deal, you know, they had floats and parades and
Mm.
everything up there in
Uh-huh.
Sedalia, and then they had a big kind of a ball you went to
Yeah.
one night. But it was an experience. And there was a couple people that raced Russ, well, here I go.
Only thing I can think of is Russ Wood. Probably not him.
Phillips.
Phyllis.
Remember him? We're in pavement.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, and
absolutely.
there was another guy that was a photographer. Around racing, still is.
Mhm.
I remember we was all about the same age, and he was in that race.
Sounds like fun to me. I
Yeah.
wish I'd have done it now, looking back, but
It was fun.
I don't know if I back then had the skills like you're talking about. I don't even know if we had a coping saw, maybe a hacksaw.
Well, basically, what you got in this kit was 4 wheels
Hmm.
and the axles,
And that was it.
and you had to build the rest.
Manufacture the
Oh, there's
rest.
another funny story on this. I built this thing, and I was fairly good size for my age, and I couldn't get in it.
Uh-oh.
So I went out to a salvage yard, which this guy used to be in the carnival business years ago, and he had some of these airplanes on chain
Uh-huh.
and had a half steering wheel.
Oh, really?
I made it work, and
I'll be darned.
Right
You
down.
could get in there then. And they let you, that was
Yeah.
legal?
Yeah.
I'll be
Sure
darned.
was.
No, they didn't give you the steering wheel.
No.
Didn't come in the kit. Okay. Marla, you were just saying a while ago that some of these early dates that you Lowell had were at the shop, and I presume most of this we're talking about had to be during the summer if they were hanging out in the
Yes.
shop,
Yes.
not in school.
Mhm.
But you were watching Lowell and these other guys work on the race cars. I guess you probably figured out real early that lady racing was going to be playing a big part in you guys' relationship.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because that's all we did.
Yeah.
Was went to the races.
Yeah.
You know, we really didn't do anything else.
That was it.
That was it.
There you are down there in Windsor. You didn't go to the lake, or
Nope.
You know, it's funny.
No.
I never hunted. I never fished.
Yeah.
And I was 12 miles from the best
Lake of the
fishing.
Ozarks?
Yeah, Truman.
Truman.
Yeah, I never went.
Really?
Never had any desire to own a boat. Just race cars.
I got into fishing a little bit one time, and I think I actually took one summer off and just fished. But boy,
Really?
did I miss the racetrack.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Definitely.
I'd be sitting out there fishing thinking, well, I wonder what's going on at Lakeside tonight.
Yeah,
Oh, I
right.
wonder who's
Right.
winning, what's going on. So
Right.
yeah, my heart was there, but I wasn't. But well, when the wedding finally came, Marla, I love
Yes.
this. I just love this. After the rehearsal dinner, you guys take off and go to a track. Where was it you went to?
We went to Thunderbolt in Sedalia.
In Sedalia?
Uh-huh. That's where Lowell had his race cars and
Yeah.
was racing with another guy.
Mhm.
And then got married on Saturday night. And then after the wedding, then we headed to Sedalia and spent the night there. And then Sunday morning, we headed to Marshall to Sportsman Speedway, and that's where we spent our honeymoon, was at the Marshall track.
Man, it sounds like a marriage made at the
Right.
racetrack and in heaven, or however you
But
want to say that.
I always feel like I was with him though. That's what I wanted, and
Yeah.
I was with him, so it didn't matter, I guess,
Yeah.
where we were at.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what he liked to do, and I enjoyed it too. So,
Uh, to me, it's like they say sometimes, it's not the destination, it's the trip.
yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
And
Right.
you guys just had a little different way getting there, or
Yeah, right.
however you want to say it. uh, Lowell, you can answer this first. How did both of your families react to this racing adventure?
Well, I think her mom and dad thought it was really crazy, and my mom and dad never settled on, you know.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I didn't have the money to even be doing it, you know. But I wanted to do it. And
Uh-huh.
I hauled hay. I done, you know, worked 2 or 3 jobs to,
Yeah.
you know, to be able to do it, which didn't last too long. A couple, 3 years maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Darren come along, and I said,
Gotta hang it up.
gotta hang it up.
Yeah. How about your parents? I think you were saying that yours were actually, I guess, what we would call today a little more conservative.
Right, right. I mean, you know, they knew Lowell was a good guy, and they wanted me to be with him, but they would never let me go out of town to the races. I got to go to Thunderbolt once in a while on a Friday night, but I never could go to Marshall or any of the other tracks because
Yeah.
they didn't want me out on the road, you
Right,
know.
right.
And that's when we were dating.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, then got married, then I could go.
Yeah. And what did they think? Well, I mean, were either of your moms or dads big fans of the racing? I mean, did they come and watch, or?
No, not really, not really. I think my mom and dad might have came a couple times.
Yeah.
But,
My
no.
mom and dad didn't ever go
Didn't
when
ever
Lowell
go.
was racing. No, now when Darren started racing,
Yeah.
they went. My dad didn't go as much, but my mom, she just loved it. She
Yeah.
just, of course, they lived in Windsor. We lived up here, and they didn't get up here that often.
Yeah.
But when they did come, you know, we'd
Mm.
go, and oh, she would just get so excited.
Oh, I
for
bet.
Darren and Scott racing, you know.
She sure
so.
did.
I bet so. I think Dixie Castor put it pretty good when I did the interview with her here just a few days or a week ago. But ask her about how her family felt, and she kind of described it this way. She says, well, you know how people felt about people that were in the carnival,
Mm-hmm.
carnies, I
Yes.
guess. She
Mhm.
said, I think that's kind of the way her folks, but doesn't sound like either one of yours were quite that extreme.
Well, my dad was very conservative, and I think he thought Lowell was just wasting money. You know, that we needed the money to live
Yeah.
on and to,
Mhm.
and even dating, when we dated, I think he just thought, you know, this boy's spending all this money on the, you know, what kind of life are you
Yeah,
going to have?
right,
you know,
right.
and all this. But,
Yeah.
but yet they liked Lowell because they knew the family.
Uh-huh.
And they knew they were good kids, you know.
Uh-huh.
And but I think it was just that shouldn't be spending that money on
Yeah, yeah.
on a race
Yeah,
car.
maybe a house.
Yes, right, yes.
Or maybe a trailer or something,
Right.
something like that.
So I don't think it was that they
Yeah.
were so much against him racing. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you know, getting out there and doing it, but it was just they were more concerned about our future.
Right, absolutely, as most parents are.
Yes, right.
Lowell, you finally started driving in high school, sharing duties with another driver, but really your racing career didn't really last that long.
No.
About how long did you race?
I'm thinking a couple years, 3.
2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
But boy, I mean, you got the bug.
Oh, yeah.
You got the bug, man.
Oh, yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
Still has it.
In those 3 years, what was the high point for you while you were driving? I mean, did you have any wins
No, not
or?
really. No, I think I won some heat races in
Uh-huh.
Marshall, and that's about it.
This was now at Thunderbolt mostly?
No, well, that was at Sportsman Speedway in Marshall.
Open Sportsman?
'Cause I can remember real well, George Lisotsky was starting or been running a few years, and he ran a GMC. And I remember he had the old diamond tires,
Mm-hmm.
and when he went by, you knew it. I mean, it
Throw
was
mud.
powdered gel.
Yeah.
Just powdered gel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Well, now Marla was telling me about one of your incidences that's not particularly one of your proudest events.
No, she shouldn't have never even told
You
that.
shouldn't have told that. Maybe you should tell Marla, since it sounds like he doesn't want to talk about it.
I think it's better when he does tell it.
No, I don't want to tell it.
Well, he was racing one night and the gas tank fell off his car, and he had enough gas in the gas line to go around the track, and he came back and he ran over the gas can.
Gas tank.
Gas tank. But he didn't know it was his gas tank. So,
Probably cussing somebody else.
yeah,
Huh?
right.
What is that stupid guy? Who did
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, the best of things happen to us, regardless, it seems like.
That's
That's true.
memories. That's memories.
That
you
is
know.
absolutely, boy, I
Sure,
mean.
people will get a real kick out.
Marla, well, we got to go back. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Dick, is it pronounced Busso?
Busso.
Busso
Mhm.
drives for you at Riverside for a while.
Yeah,
And what kind of a car was that?
that was kind of like a super modified.
Okay.
And here again, I really didn't have the money to be doing. You
Uh-huh.
know, I mean, he ran with some big boys. Gene French, I mean, there's
Uh-huh.
100 cars back then.
Yeah, I remember you.
But Dick was a good driver.
Mhm.
He was a good driver. Where else did we run up in Topeka?
Topeka. Mhm.
Old
That,
Shawnee.
the old Shawnee down in the hole.
We went up
The
there
holler.
and ran
Yeah.
some, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick was a good driver, you know. He, he helped me maintain it.
Hmm.
But that didn't last too long either. I think we blowed a motor or two, and
That ended that deal. Yeah.
I had a brother-in-law that, it's funny, he had my block built and everything. We blew it up first or second night. He said, I'd never seen $300 go up in the air so fast in my life. I'm done, he said. I'm done.
Oh, shoot. After Dick is driving for you at Riverside, then Darren, or as we know him, Bear, takes over and starts the driving duties, but only
That
it's
was
in
quite a few years, though. There was
that
quite
was
a spread there.
later.
Mhm.
That's quite a time in between there.
Yeah.
But it's in an IMCA modified. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you guys jumped right in on this new deal that
Well,
Larry
we seen
Castor started.
something in the paper. There was a picture of Larry explaining about what he's doing here.
Uh-huh.
Boy, I was right up that muffler shop, talked to him.
Uh-huh.
Darren was 15, 16,
Oh, really?
and I had a sprint car guy helping me. I had a guy in town going to build a car. I thought, I better do it here at home. Well, that didn't turn out too good.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'd pay him, and never nothing get done on the car. So an old sprint car buddy of mine, he was one of the best fabricators in Kansas City on wings. And he come over and helped us. I don't know if you ever seen a picture of that car. A yellow number 3 with a pin old body.
I think I
Big
may
old
have.
round nose.
Yeah.
I mean, the workmanship in it was just next to that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was different, it was ugly, but it was so ugly it was cute.
I was going to say some of them early modifieds were unique, shall we say.
Mhm.
You know, yeah.
Pretty unique, and like you say, sometimes look just a little bit strange
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
But they went fast.
Yeah, well, it took Bear quite a while to go fast,
Mhm.
But, he was pretty good when he did get fast.
Uh-huh.
And his brother has a different story. He wanted to go fast right now.
Like so many people that get into racing, they don't want to mess around.
We took Scott down to I-70 one night, and he hit some oil. Charlie Benedict or Walker loaded motor. Hit that oil, shot him plumb out in the parking lot.
Oh, really?
And they used to have that tower out there.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, he hit one of them posts, and it came out and came in the car with him
Oh, wow.
and was laying on the interior right beside it.
Ow, wow.
I said,
Yeah, that's a close call there.
that could have been very, very
Yeah.
bad.
There was a lot of close calls at I-70 for
And there will-
most people that ran out
There
there.
will be again.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. A lot of speed there. Glad you mentioned Scott driving. Marla, I wanted to ask you, man, only a mother can feel the pain, so to speak, when you have two kids out there on the track, especially at the same time, could you describe what it's like? I mean, the only thing I can, and this may not sound exactly right, but it's like torn between two lovers.
Yeah, right.
You might say that's
Right.
probably not exactly the way it is, but
just very nervous, and I'm just very tense, and especially when they're racing in the same race. Now, when they're not in the same race, it wasn't quite as bad, but when they were both in the same race, and then they'd get up there side by side, and
that's when it got bad.
yes, yes.
Same way for you, Lowell?
Yes.
Were you the same?
No, the hardest part's keeping up with both of them.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like now when we run 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with Jason, Timmy, Bear,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What did you mostly cheer for the one leading?
No. I mean, I'd cheer for both.
Yeah.
I mean, of course the one leading, but get up there with him,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
get up there.
Well,
So.
there was such a difference in them boys.
Yeah.
Bear went slow and took him a while to get pretty good. Scott wanted to go right now.
Yeah, gangbusters.
He was just more
He
aggressive.
only knew
than-
one thing,
Yeah.
on the floor and turn left.
He's going to love this video.
Yeah, you come to our clubhouse, I'll show you some pictures. Well, she's got a funny story here on the demolition derby. Nah, man, I
it
meant
was,
powder puff.
Powder puff. You drove a powder puff?
I did.
Did you really?
At
Oh,
Riverside.
my goodness, Marla.
At
You're gonna like
Riverside.
this.
Did you?
It was my nephew's car, and he sold it that night. And he said, "Oh, come on, she won't hurt it." Frank Baker brought it off the track with 2 wreckers, one on each head.
Oh, my
The lady
God.
was on top of me.
Oh.
Right up on top of me, and I spun around, and the car was just. It was just
Demolished.
Oh, it was. But what was funny was I got out there, and oh man, I thought I was going fast, And Lowell's in the infield, and he's doing this with his foot, like step on it, get up there. I think I was last. I think I was running last, but I sure thought I was going fast. So
Yeah.
I have oh my gosh, I'm just amazed at how these guys can
Do
get
it.
in those cars,
Yeah.
and the women too.
Yeah.
These young kids get in the car and go like they go. It's nobody knows sitting in the stands what it's like out there.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I race radio control cars, but it's totally different. You're not in the car.
Right.
I mean, the
Yeah.
competition's there, but
Yes.
you're not driving.
Yes.
In the
right.
safety of the driver's stand.
Yes, that's right.
As much as the Cristy name is well known in the racing community, it's also known quite well in the food family. You guys started out with a concession trailer, and you were traveling around to most of the regional or local fairs.
You was talking about carnies earlier.
Uh-huh.
We was kind of carnies.
You were kind of
Yes,
carnies?
because
Sure
we would move with the fairs,
Go.
and the carnies, they
Uh-huh.
would move, and we'd move too.
Right,
So.
and go with them. Yeah.
Like the Wyandotte County Fair, they'd all be there, and us, and then they'd move to the Johnson County Fair, and we'd
Yeah.
move, and then like Platte County Fair,
Uh-huh.
and then we just did a lot of local, small things too.
Right, right.
So
What was this kind of a side deal that you guys were doing? Because I just think I remember you said Lowell was a meat cutter,
meat cutter for
and you worked at a doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your full-time gig.
Yes.
So this was a weekend extra money kind
Well,
of?
no, actually, we had a restaurant at the same time we done this.
Oh, you did, in Windsor.
Windsor.
Well, we had one there and we had one here.
Oh, you did?
The one we have now.
You had both of them?
Well, we had the one in Windsor 8 years, and we had it a year after we bought the one up here.
Mm-hmm.
And also we were doing concession at the swimming pool there in our neighborhood. It was a club, and we did the
Well, then we've done
concession
the
there
go-kart
too.
track.
Yeah, we did the
for 4
go-kart.
years, Thunder Lake.
Thunder Lake?
Yeah, we had the
Oh, really?
concessions
Oh, I
there.
didn't know that. Okay.
So yeah, we had to do a lot of things
Yeah.
to keep the money coming to
Support the racing?
Support that racing.
Well, that's what I was thinking in the back of my mind. That's why I was thinking, kind of a weekend,
Yeah,
excuse me,
I mean-
gig.
Yes. Yeah, it was. We did that for several years, and
Mhm.
then
We used to
actually,
do, probably our biggest deal was Serrainer Swap Meet.
Oh, really?
You remember them?
No, no. Where was that at?
Oh, Woodlands.
Oh,
Woodlands.
really?
Huge,
No, no.
Huge.
Yeah, it
No,
was.
Yeah,
no, I
we've
didn't.
done them for a lot of years.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
And then when they had to move from there, then, they had it at Worlds of Fun, and then we went out and Lee Summit and did them, and that was like a 2-day,
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday
Mhm.
thing, so. But,
Kind of what might be the marquee food number on the menu for you guys are those tenderloins, and
Yeah.
I think, man.
Well, you know, another thing that's really is the malts that we sell, Nice Green.
Oh, really?
You know, I'm seeing more about them all the time.
Uh-huh.
We carry 10 flavors from them.
Oh, really? Oh,
Kind
wow.
of like the old time,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't get those at just any fast food restaurant, you know.
They made
so,
with real malt, like they used to do in
Mhm,
the, really, in the
mhm,
old days?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember
yeah.
going to the drugstore mostly where you
Yes.
used to find those,
Yes,
if you wanted them with real malt.
yes, that's right.
I'll be
Yeah.
darned.
But we have so many different flavors, you know, like the blackberry and butterscotch and peanut butter and
Oh, wow.
and different things like that that you can get chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry at most places,
Uh-huh.
but it's these other,
Yeah.
you know, extra
Yeah.
that people really
Sounds
like.
so good.
They really are good.
As Lowell said, but you guys acquire the restaurant there in Turner, and of course that's kind of the standard bearer, I guess, now for the Christie's Tasty Freeze. I think
Yeah.
that's the proper name, isn't it?
Tasty Queen.
Tasty Queen. I knew I was going to mess
Right.
it up.
Mm-hmm.
But now, how long have you been there?
36 years.
Oh, my
in
gosh.
February. Mm-hmm.
Any idea how many tenderloins a year you
no.
serve?
A
month? A week?
Oh, gee.
Oh, it's hard to say.
We have.
It's slower time of the year, you know, I have
Yeah.
to cut them maybe twice, but in the summer I'm cutting tenderloins 3 times a week.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
And that's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,000 to 3,000 probably
Yeah.
in a week, or
Really?
Yeah,
2 to
probably.
3,000?
wouldn't you say?
Oh, a
Probably.
bunch.
Yeah, so we're really busy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Along this line, not only do you guys have the restaurant, but I know from personal experience, and we were kind of yakking about CARB there earlier, but you guys have done the CARB, is it the Hall of Fame banquet?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You guys have catered that.
Yes.
You've done that for quite a while.
Well, we did that probably about 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then my back just got to where I couldn't cater anymore.
Right.
But of course, we've got such good help. You know, Darren
Mhm.
and Kara would help us, and Brenda and Don Johnson would help us, and we
Mhm.
couldn't do it without any of them.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I miss doing it so much. But we'd serve 300 at a banquet.
Oh, really?
You know.
Oh, wow.
I think 450 one time.
Really?
It-
Go-kart banquet.
At one of the
The regular CARB banquet?
Well, I don't remember if it was
Go-kart banquet.
go-kart banquet.
Go-kart.
Yes, we
For
did
Thunder
do,
Lake?
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Thunder-
did
oh.
do a 450.
Oh, my
that night.
gosh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
we did.
Plus, also, I know, well, like this year at Lakeside with them being flooded, you guys, if I remember right, had a trailer or something down in the pit area, if I remember right. Or,
I
Well,
think that was Shauna.
yeah, well.
This year, are you talking?
yeah, this year.
Oh, yeah, that was Shauna Powell.
Shauna Powell,
Uh-huh.
okay, I'm sorry.
We would sell tenderloins up above,
Oh,
up by
okay.
the beer shack and the
Yeah,
and the red. What do I want to say? The shirt
T-shirt.
trailer.
Shirt
Yeah,
trailer, okay.
Shirt trailer.
All right, okay.
We do that on special races.
uh-huh.
And and everybody looks forward. Of course,
Oh,
those are
yeah.
the grilled tenderloins. Those
Uh-huh.
aren't the fried. But
Okay.
people like them.
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely. And I know, like, when USMTS was in town, I think you guys used to serve tenderloins during that, what was that, 4 or 5 day ordeal?
yes,
You know,
we did do that one time.
Something funny. When Bear would win, we would cook tenderloins for everybody.
I remember
In the
that,
pits,
in the
in the
pits.
pits.
And they
Uh-huh.
would be lined up. My gosh, we had an enclosed trailer, and you
Uh-huh.
just come in, got your stuff, and went out.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
It was fun too.
Yeah.
And
Oh
people,
yeah, you know,
they
we
loved
probably
it.
would give away 300. a
oh,
night.
really? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we did.
Holy smokes.
Forgot about them.
Wow. Well, like I say, it's not only has been business, but you guys have also given back to racing in
Sure.
that way.
We have tried to, yes. We would do the Hall of Fame car show, and we would donate all the proceeds, the money that we got from that to them.
Yeah.
And then I would try to really keep it down, my prices per person when we did the Hall of Fame, because I didn't want,
Oh, yeah.
we just, what the food cost,
Right.
and that was about it.
Yeah.
So,
You didn't-
Break even.
yeah, break even.
Break even,
So,
yeah.
but that's what we were doing it for,
Yeah.
was to give to the Hall of Fame. And so, but, yep.
Lot of fun and work.
Yes, it is a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah,
but-
absolutely.
But we enjoy it, so.
Kind of still on the CARB issue here. Lowell, you and Darren have both served on CARB board of directors and have been active in both institutions, bringing a long background of what racers think. I mean, to me, I think that's one of the big things about, and you guys aren't the only ones. I'm not criticizing any of the other members, but
No,
it's a hands-on. You know
Yeah.
what's going on there.
Well, we've done a lot of things. We built a car one time.
Yes.
I mean, very nice race car.
Uh-huh.
Turnkey, drive it away.
Right.
And we raised $10,000.
Wow.
And gave it to the club.
to the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about
Yeah.
that. I
We did a
remember that now.
raffle.
That was
We
about
took the car around to the different tracks.
yes.
And sold raffle tickets, the
Yeah.
tickets, and
Oh,
and then at the banquet, then they
Yeah.
drew the name. And the guy that won it bought his ticket that night at the banquet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So, but
neat.
we were real, they really worked hard on
Yeah.
that car, and it was a nice looking car, and we were really proud that we could raise that much money and
Absolutely.
give to the Hall of Fame. So
Absolutely. What a good thing to do. It is fantastic. You guys also kind of have a little museum of your own. I think Marla was telling me that you've the clubhouse, you call it,
Yeah.
but you have just to mention just a couple of things was I believe your brother has a helmet collection
Yeah.
that he has
Sure does.
collected over the years of
Yeah,
traveling
and they're a
with.
big name.
Was
I
it
mean,
IMCA or
Outlaws.
World of Outlaws?
World of Outlaws, yeah.
And I presume there's some nice signed helmets in
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah. I can't remember, but there's.
Quite a few of
some
the
of them
names.
still got the
Nice
dirt
ones.
on them.
Do the didn't bother to clean them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Darren's also got a collection of track programs that he's
Oh.
collected.
Yeah. You couldn't look at all of them
Yeah.
in an evening.
Yeah.
No way.
No, oh no, totes after totes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Think
Oh.
he never threw
Pictures.
anything away. He kept everything.
Yeah, he
Uh-huh.
used to kind of get aggravated. He always had to buy a picture. Why wish he'd have bought more? He's got a real collection. You
Yeah.
need to come over, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, I really want to. I think it'd be great. I'd love to come over and see it. But
And after Scott, he kind of got into the, he had a little red pickup truck that had a dancing bed on it. I think he was one of the first ones in Kansas City, maybe,
Yeah,
that
one of them.
had
Oh,
this
really?
little dancing bed. So he's got several trophies and pictures of
Things that he's won with that?
That he did with
Car
that
shows
in
or-
high school. Yeah,
Oh.
in car
Yeah,
shows.
he won the first place in Springfield. This was a national
Yeah, he
event.
got in a magazine
Really?
and all, and
Yeah.
and so that was where he kind of started out with
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
then kind of went into the racing. And
Yeah.
But
with
he,
Darren.
he told me that I'm not going to spend every night in that garage like Darren. No, there's too many fun things to do. And he was into music and
Uh-huh.
drumming, and
yeah.
but different boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to come over and bring the camera, and we've got to do a guided tour sometime. So
Yes,
we've got to
right.
put that on the calendar
Okay,
sometime
do that.
Sure.
and do that. It sounds like it would just really be fun. But so there again, it's not really just a family thing. It can other people donate stuff or exhibit stuff, I guess you would say.
We have had several give us some stuff.
Yeah.
One guy gave us some jackets, and
Mhm.
we hung over there, and
Mhm.
and then we've got some of the, I don't know. Well, then we have some of our own personal stuff
Right,
too
right,
that we
mhm.
had when we were young and the boys were young, and
Mhm.
our daughter, and we've got those kind of sitting
Yeah.
around too. But it's mostly pictures of
Yeah.
racing and
Yeah, it's
and,
interesting.
Like you
It
say,
is.
man, that soapbox derby car would be so cool.
Hang
And we have the helmet.
Hang it up on the.
I got the helmet.
Do you really?
the helmet. That was it.
Yeah.
But,
Who was it? J.D. Cormack had, I think, a soapbox derby helmet. You know, I was up there and shot a
Oh, yeah.
video with him the
Uh-huh.
other
And
day.
he's got something to see, too.
That's
don't
quite a
he?
room he's got.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is.
yes.
That
Yeah,
is.
I mean, we're real good friends with J.D.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite a special place. If it's
Mhm.
anything like that, man, I can hardly wait.
well,
That was pretty neat. Also, one of the things that you guys host, more or less, for the racing community is your Daytona parties, and then
Yeah.
that's down at the shop.
At the shop.
And I've
I
personally been to 2 or 3 of those, and
I think this
Good
will be the
food,
21st
Marla.
oh,
year.
well, thank you.
21st
Thank you.
year this year.
pardon me, 21st.
21st.
I think it is.
Wow.
It started out in the clubhouse,
Uh-huh.
and then we could only seat about 80 some,
Oh, probably not
90
that
some.
many.
I don't remember, but because we run out of chairs.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, we had to move it to the shop because it just got over
Yeah.
100 people, and
Yeah.
Now
so
it's 150.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
so
Oh,
we
yeah.
so we
Easily.
moved it down there, and it's
Yeah.
a lot better.
It's a real fun day, you know.
It is there. It's
so
one of
much bench racing, you know.
Yes.
You can draw numbers, and it's just a fun day.
yeah. It's one
And
of
anybody's welcome to come. Anybody at all.
Well, most.
almost. You may have to build on or expand somewhere.
Just a couple.
I forgot what I was going to ask now because I had another
Oh, I'm
question about
sorry.
it. That's okay. But I know what I was going to say. To me, it's one of the few things that I go to in the Kansas City area that it just has that feeling to it. I mean, it's a racing thing.
Uh-huh.
Y-
Well, there's so many different people there that have been involved in so many different
Yes.
You
areas of
know, you
racing.
just got old Buzz
Yeah.
and the Castors,
Yeah.
and we take a lot of stuff, and everybody wins something.
Uh-huh.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Have a drawing.
Yeah.
Have a drawing. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. And like I say, the food is just off
Yeah,
the wall.
we never.
Well, thank
We
you.
don't want no alcohol.
Yeah. Over these years, looking back, are there any people that you want to thank? I guess is the simplest way to say that.
Just
I mean,
her.
just her.
Thank you.
Well, like I told
Well.
Marla, Lowell, you and I both know, behind every good man, there's a great woman usually.
Well,
Oh,
you know, how many women would let their husband have 5 race cars? That's running cars. That's not counting my vintage stuff.
Well, I meant to ask you about that. You've got 2 vintage cars. What are those?
Oh, I've got a Nance car. I got a CAE car. And a super modified. Then I got a Trossel car, which
Wow.
I'll never finish up on.
Yeah,
Off the
I've
shelf.
seen it up on the top there.
you know, you've seen these pickers show, you
Yeah.
know. That's kind of like what, you know, someday somebody will have to get up there and get that down.
Get that down.
He's going to have a couple of them in the World of Wheels this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I heard something, I saw it on Facebook, I think, that you'd been asked to, I think Karen asked you to bring those down. Going to be displayed with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right, right. Sounds like fun. But are there any, Marla, he's kind of thrown it out here. Is there anybody that you
Well,
can think of that you just want to
just-
say, hey?
We're just so thankful for all of our friends and family that have supported,
Well, you know,
supported the
you have to
boys,
thank
and
God, you know.
Yes.
We're very blessed people.
Yes, we are very
Absolutely.
much. And you know, even Darren having both of his bad wrecks that he had, you know, and Scott had a sort of a bad one too, but then he didn't really come back after that. But but Darren, those two, you know, those could have really been bad,
Yeah.
and so we're very thankful that you know that he's back, that he can race and continue, and that he was okay. But like I said, I think just family and friends is,
Yeah.
you know, where are you without family and friends?
Absolutely.
You know? And we've got so many,
Well-
so many. We're just, love
Well, we got
everybody.
a bunch of good drivers, good people.
Absolutely.
Tim Billings,
Mhm.
Jason Ryan, Bear.
Don Mars is going to
Yeah,
drive for
Don
him.
Mars is driving my new car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's
which
it going to
is
be?
Hobby stock.
Oh, hobby stock.
Very nice car.
Yeah.
So I'm broke out with drivers.
Well, guys, it just sounds like both of you have gotten the bug from that little shop you started at down there, and it's just
Yeah.
carried over so much into racing.
If I hadn't, if I hadn't went in there and seen what they was welding, I don't know what my life would have been. What my life would have been.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we've traveled. We've been to Florida. We covered, quite a
Mhm.
bit. We went to Benton, Iowa. We go to Muskogee, Oklahoma. Them big stock car races,
Mhm.
and done well.
Yeah.
Done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Seems like everywhere I go, I see Darren.
Well, he never goes anyplace that there isn't somebody that knows him.
Yeah, yeah.
Or he
Yeah, well,
knows them.
we might mention the wedding today.
Oh, I was going to say new daughter-in-law.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Darren and Kara got married today and down at the Chili Bowl,
Uh,
and that was a shock because we didn't know
We
it.
didn't know.
Nobody knew it.
Yeah.
But a lot of his friends were there, and the Chili Bowl was a perfect place for
Absolutely.
them to do this because they love it down
Yeah.
there. So
The big driller stood in with him.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, got married under the big.
Yeah.
Well, I've been
What-
going, 33 years.
Mhm.
This is the first year I haven't
Yeah.
been.
Yeah. Wow.
6 nights is a lot of racing.
Boy, isn't it?
Sitting on them hard bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said, I think, I've had enough.
Yeah. I said that actually about 10 years ago.
Did you?
Mostly because I got sick every time I went.
Really?
Yeah, I had to have a sinus infection, especially when I used to go for multiple days.
Yeah, I know girls at the restaurant said, well, he'll be home Sunday, he'll be sick Monday.
Yeah, he usually got a cold
No,
all
Yeah.
the time.
It never really made me sick,
Just
Uh,
kind of a cold.
It was
Yeah.
fumy,
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of times it was
Yeah.
really fumy, but they've done a lot to prevent lots of things.
Yeah, they have.
With their
Absolutely.
racing fuel and their ventilation system.
They've improved it quite a bit.
Yeah,
And-
what a money deal.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can stay home and watch it for, I forget, I haven't looked this year, but like $35 a night or
Yeah.
Yeah,
30
we got,
and
we got them on TV. We'll be
Yeah.
watching it.
oh yeah, I'll be
We'll
watching the
able to
final
smell the
Saturday
fumes.
for sure, for sure. Well, guys, again, just let me congratulate both of you. I can't
Thank you.
think of two more deserving people
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
there's
way
a lot of 'em.
that I think the way it impresses me is how much you guys give back to racing
Well,
and are
A lot.
involved in it.
there is a lot of people that do, but I mean, we enjoy what we're doing and we want to. So, and we want to congratulate you
Oh, well,
too
thank you.
for
Thank you.
getting inducted too.
Yeah,
So,
I feel very honored. I
I
really
know,
do.
we do
Yeah.
too. It really is a great honor.
Yeah,
So,
But anyway,
thank you, Mike, for doing this.
it's been a pleasure. These are so much fun.
Yeah.
They really are. You get to know people, and like I say when we're on the show, I love to look people in the eyes.
Right.
I absolutely do. My wife used to say, "Man, you can see their souls."
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But anyway, guys, congratulations, and hey, let's go into the CARB, man.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.